this brother needs no introduction because, to be honest, it's hard to introduce somebody whose name changes every other day, okay? But he's reached such a high level of black excellence that as he continues ascending the ladder of greats, nobody can keep up. Let's welcome the one, the only, the chairman of Revolt, Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Mr. Combs!
Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, is a truly influential name in the music industry. From his humble beginnings as a songwriter and rapper, Diddy's talent and ambition propelled him to astonishing heights of success, making him one of the most influential moguls in the business.
I'm like any audience member that's out there that had that dream to be somebody and wanting to make this culture a career.
What followed was a fall like nothing else. Allegations of the worst kind of crimes, a loss of respect in the masses. Combs' story is one of complexity and chaos. Diddy has consistently pushed boundaries and redefined industry standards.
There's so many people that I want to thank, but most importantly, I want to thank music. I fell in love with music around the age of 5. Music at times became my best friend when no one else was there. And later down the road, music even saved my life.
His journey in the music world has been extremely diverse. Not content with just being a songwriter and rapper, he took on the role of a talent scout, discovering some of the industry's brightest stars. With an unmatched eye for talent, he played a pivotal role in shaping the careers of numerous artists, elevating them to global stardom. Producing hit after hit, he has always been known as a star maker. There was a great deal of power in the palm of his hands. Born on November 4th, 1969, in Harlem, New York, Sean John Combs became known by various names such as Puff Daddy, P-Diddy, Diddy, and Puffy. He was raised in Mount Vernon. His parents were Janice Smalls, a model and teacher's assistant, and Melvin Earl Combs, a U.S. Air Force veteran. Despite facing challenges during his upbringing, Diddy's early years instilled in him a strong work ethic that would eventually propel him to become one of hip-hop's most influential figures. Tragedy struck early in Diddy's life when his father passed away when he was just 2 years old. Melvin Combs unfortunately fell victim to a fatal shooting during a drug transaction after being mistaken for an informant. Though the details surrounding his father's death were not fully revealed to Diddy during his childhood, he gradually pieced together the puzzle.
I don't have like a lot of memories of my father. They say, you can't miss something you never had. So that's only a little ways right, There's definitely been times as I've gotten older that I've missed my father.
Diddy's career trajectory took shape as he ventured into the music industry, starting as a party promoter, background dancer, and label intern. However, his talent and determination propelled him to take on various roles, including talent scout, label executive, producer, songwriter, and rapper. During the mid-90s, he emerged as one of hip-hop's prominent moguls, following in the footsteps of Russell Simmons, co-founder of Def Jam Records. Diddy's empire dominated the charts at the time, leaving a big impact on the future of rap music.
If you ask a group of people what hustle is, you're probably going to get a lot of different answers. What I think is doing whatever you need to do to become successful. It takes focus, determination, and playing the game a little harder than everybody around you. Sean P. Diddy Combs is a hustler. As a matter of fact, he's what I call an extreme hustler. He's a producer, a performer, an actor. He has created a clothing empire, and he's also responsible for one of my favorite vodkas.
In 1993, Diddy made his mark in the music industry by establishing his own production company, Bad Boy Entertainment, collaborating with both rising and established talents in rap, hip-hop and R&B, such as Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, Lil' Kim, Aretha Franklin, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, and Biggie Smalls. Combs showcased his keen eye for talent and instinct for producing hit records. His contributions earned him the prestigious title of ASCAP Songwriter of the Year in 1996.
It's an honor. I was here last year. I had a great time.
Yeah?
I'm glad they invited me back.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing here about MTV? What's about the people tonight, the audience, the show? What's hot about it?
It's like the categories and the way they pick the winners is so different. It's so on the edge. It's more entertaining, more of an entertaining award show.
Not content with only producing and remixing tracks for other artists, Diddy decided to venture into his own solo career in 1997. He released his debut single, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, which soared to the top of the US charts, holding the #1 position for almost 2 months. This marked the beginning of a tremendously successful journey for Diddy as a solo artist. By this time, Bad Boy Entertainment had earned a staggering $100 million in record sales and secured a lucrative multi-million-dollar management deal with Arista Records. Tragedy struck in 1997 when Combs' close friend and collaborator Biggie Smalls was tragically murdered. In response, Combs paid homage to the late artist by recording the tribute song, I'll Be Missing You. The track soared to the top of the Billboard singles chart, reigning supreme for an impressive 11 weeks. This heartfelt tribute also served as the launching pad for Combs' first solo album, titled No Way Out, 1997, which achieved platinum status. The album solidified its position as a commercial success, becoming the third best-selling LP of the year. It's All About the Benjamins and Been Around the World reached #2. The album also saw widespread critical success, with Puff Daddy being nominated for 5 awards at the 40th Grammy Awards, winning the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. It remains his best-selling album, with over 7 million copies shipped in the United States, and it's still considered a classic hip-hop album. Of course, success also meant rivalry, as other New York hip-hop record labels were also emerging in the same period of time. In the early 90s, the genre experienced a shift with the rise of G-Funk, represented by Dr. Dre's iconic album, The Chronic, in 1993. The release not only introduced the world to Snoop Dogg, but also brought immense success to Death Row Records, the label behind the album. This period witnessed the commercial dominance of Dre, Snoop, and the signing of Tupac Shakur. Meanwhile, New York City's hip-hop scene remained vibrant and impactful, boasting acts such as the Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, and A Tribe Called Quest, whose landmark albums continued to shape the genre's landscape. However, the likes of Dre, Snoop, and Tupac enjoyed omnipresence on MTV and achieved unparalleled commercial success. Snoop's debut album, Doggy Style, made history as the fastest-selling hip-hop album at the time, with over 800,000 copies sold in its first week. The album's singles, including Who Am I, What's My Name, and Gin and Juice, saw to the top of the charts and enjoyed significant radio airplay. Doggy Style, like The Chronic, featured a roster of talented rappers associated with or signed to Death Row Records, such as Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, and Nate Dogg. However, following Dre's departure from the label, Snoop encountered restrictions, realizing that Death Row practically owned his creative output for a specific duration. Consequently, he refused to produce further tracks for Suge Knight and Death Row, except for the provoking song Death Row, until his contract expired.
Well, Snoop came along when it was a time when rap was a little bit different. It was, you know, it was the hip hop, the hibbity hip. He came across with a whole new thing. It was gangster rap, and you know, it just flipped the whole hip hop thing upside down. One of the first artists to sell 3-4 million records right off the top. So he was the first one. Now I call him the father of rap. Yeah, that's the reason why that all colors, all ages, all genres could relate to Snoop Doggy Dogg.
However, in 1994, Bad Boy Records emerged in the limelight with the release of the notorious B.I.G.'s debut album. Ready to Die sold over 4 million copies. This success was followed by even greater triumphs, as Bad Boy Records consistently delivered hit after hit with albums from Puff Daddy, Mace, Faith Evans, and other notable artists. The West Coast versus East Coast feud is a legendary rivalry that has defined the landscape of hip-hop for decades. Rooted in the 1990s, this intense conflict pitted prominent rap artists from both coasts against each other, igniting a battle for supremacy, lyrical dominance, and cultural influence. With iconic figures such as Tupac Shakur representing the West Coast and the notorious B.I.G. leading the charge for the East Coast, tensions escalated to a level that transcended music, encompassing personal rivalries, tragic losses, and a clash of distinct artistic styles. There was a downside to Bad Boy's rise as it sparked the notorious East Coast versus West Coast feud, which is believed by some to have played a role in the tragic deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. This feud, which captivated the hip-hop culture of the 1990s, was a mix of violence and sheer horror, leaving behind the loss of two immensely influential rappers. During the 1990s, the hip-hop landscape was vastly different from what it is today. The rivalry primarily revolved around two record labels, Death Row Records on the West Coast and Bad Boy Entertainment on the East Coast. Each label boasted its own roster of stars, with Tupac signed to Death Row and Biggie signed to Bad Boy. These artists dominated the rap charts along with their associates such as Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, Lil' Kim, Faith Evans, and Diddy. They achieved unprecedented record sales, with their feud ironically fueling their commercial success. It's important to note that the so-called East Coast versus West Coast feud was not truly about the geographical regions themselves, but rather about specific states, New York and California. While Baltimore is technically situated on the East Coast, Tupac's residence there suggests that he had harbored no animosity towards rappers from Baltimore, Philadelphia, or Miami. His grievance was specifically directed towards New York. Interestingly, the regional feud had its roots in the friendship between Tupac and Biggie, who were two of the biggest rap stars in the United States, alongside being close friends. Tupac, who was born in New York, held no initial animosity towards the city. However, a single incident changed everything.
Yeah, I like to think I'm rebel. I'm revolutionary. I like to bring change.
From his teenage years, Biggie began rapping to entertain the people in his neighborhood. He had no serious intentions of pursuing a music career, but his tape somehow made its way to The Source magazine, who was so impressed by it that they featured him in their unsigned hype column in March of 1992. This exposure led to Biggie being approached to collaborate with other unsigned rappers. P-Diddy, who was then working as an A&R executive and producer for Uptown Records, heard about Biggie's recording and arranged a record deal for him. However, P-Diddy left Uptown soon after due to a falling out with his boss, Andre Harrell. He went on to establish his own label, Bad Boy Records, and by mid-1992, Biggie had joined him. Before Biggie had the chance to release anything under Bad Boy, Uptown Records released some of his music that he had recorded during his brief time with the label. One notable release was a remix of Mary J. Blige's Real Love in August 1992, which featured a guest verse from Biggie. In June 1993, Uptown Records released Biggie's first solo single, During this time, Biggie Smalls had his first encounter with Tupac. The meeting took place at a party hosted by an LA drug dealer, and they bonded over food, drinks, and smoking. Tupac, who was already an established artist, became a mentor to Biggie, and at one point, Biggie asked if Tupac would become his manager. However, Tupac advised him to stick with Diddy, believing that he would help him become a star. Around the same time, Biggie was facing financial concerns as he became a father to his daughter, Tiana, with his high school sweetheart, Jen. It had become reported that Biggie returned to drug dealing until Diddy intervened and put a stop to it. In 1994, while working on his album, Me Against the World, and collaborating with East Coast artists, Tupac traveled to New York. He was invited by a man named Ron G to record tracks with two up-and-coming rappers named Booker and Little Sean at Quad Studios. However, upon leaving the building, Tupac was ambushed and shot multiple times. He believed that the attack was orchestrated by Biggie, and this incident marked the beginning of their feud. With Tupac forcing his record label and crew to take sides in what he considered a war, the feud between the two labels escalated. Shortly after Tupac released the diss track, Hit 'Em Up, he was murdered. Following Tupac's death, it is widely believed that Biggie's murder the following year was a retaliatory act. Controversies and speculations have followed Diddy like a shadow. Persistent rumors linking him to the tragic murder of the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur have cast a shadow of uncertainty over his otherwise remarkable career. Though vehemently denied, these allegations continue to fuel debates and intrigue within the music community. In 1999, Diddy released the albums Forever. The Saga Continues, and Press Play, all of which achieved great commercial success.
Diddy, welcome to London.
Thank you.
You're not here for very long. I realise it's a very brief little trip to our capital, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, a couple of hours just to come speak to you on the way home.
What can you do in a couple of hours in London? Have you got your plan worked out, where you're going to go, what you're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of interviews. I had to come speak to you, which was very important. And we're having a celebration, for my album. I'm going #1 in the United States. Having a celebration out here somewhere at an undisclosed location. And then right at the end of the night, I'm going to just go jump on the jet and go back to New York.
Single #2 off the album is going to be the one with Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
I mean, you work with some fine people you mentioned before, but Christina Aguilera, very jealous.
Christina, she definitely has one of the greatest voices, in music right now.
However, along with fame came trouble. In December 1999, Combs and his then-girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, were allegedly involved in a shooting incident at a nightclub in New York City, resulting in 3 people getting injured. Later on, Diddy faced legal charges, including 4 counts of illegal gun possession and 1 count of bribery. Prosecutors claimed that he offered his driver, Wardell Fenderson, $50,000 to claim ownership of the loaded gun found at the crime scene. The trial began in late January 2001. On March 16, 2001, Combs was acquitted of all charges, as was his bodyguard. However, his protege, rapper Jamal Shine Barrow, who was accused of firing inside the nightclub and injuring bystanders, was found guilty of assault, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of a weapon. In addition to his success in music, Combs had established himself as an actor and executive producer in the film and television industry.
Yeah, it's an Oliver Stone movie that's gonna be on Warner Brothers. And I'm not totally sure if I'm doing it. Everybody's just rushing so quick with it, but it's a movie about football, done the Oliver Stone way. It's about this young black kid and this older coach, and it's kind of fly. I'm gonna let Oliver tell y'all the rest of it because I may not be in it. I don't want to spoil it. I feel great. I'm like kind of speechless in the sense of, we just won for Undefeated documentary, best documentary, and I'm just here. I want to hurry up, get in there and have a drink and celebrate. I didn't really expect to hear it to win because I never expected award shows to actually hear it. So hearing it, I was in shock for a second. I didn't know really what to do, but I just yelled and screamed, and I'm happy. Yes. Yes.
Favorite memories from
this I think that the Vanity Fair table coffee top books kind of say it all. If you really go in, it's hard to explain. Like that's the best way. When people ask me about it, I say, get one of the coffee table books. And the intimacy of this party, the exclusivity, and it's true old Hollywood done in a contemporary style.
He has appeared in numerous films and partnered on TV series like Making the Band 2. He has also executive produced acclaimed documentaries such as Undefeated and Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. In 2013, he launched Revolt, his own music television network, and established Revolt Films, a production company known for its successful projects like Dope.
The summit is about a discussion. We wanted to elevate it and open up the conversation to be more than just about music, to be about our culture. As big as the industry is, we don't really come together. We have the Google conferences, and we have the, the different conferences around the world, but we don't have conferences for hip-hop and the business of hip-hop and the culture. And so this is here to fill that void. And to be able to bring it here, start it in Brooklyn, then go to Atlanta, and then go to LA, I think is important because that's what gave birth to me. Conferences like this gave birth to me and also other executives like myself. I think information is the key. I think we're in a renaissance right now, and I think there's a whole new generation of entrepreneurs that need information, that need guidance, that need to put some support behind their dream, and that's what it's about. It's about going from just making hit records to stepping up to the responsibility of sharing the information and the power of the information.
It's empowerment, it's unification, and it's also bringing us together in the form of ownership and also educating us, and I think it's needed for the culture.
Well, first of all, Revolt, what I love about the word Revolt is that it's really about being a disruptor, and I'm a disruptor. So, of course, first of all, anything that Diddy does, I want to be a part of it. Second of all, I remember attending the first Revolt conference in Miami, and what I really love is that it's not one of those boring conferences or a boring summit where you sit around and listen to that you really don't care about. On top of that, the Dream in Black campaign that I've seen from AT&T, organically really integrating our culture into what matters to us is just amazing. So when they invited me, I had to come.
Revolt has definitely put themselves as a skeletal brand out here for culture and pushing the conversation, so I'm just here to help. Yeah, because I think we need to remind ourselves that we have platforms that actually celebrate what we're doing out here in our own time. A lot of times, whether you're an influencer, artist, or visionary, we're just creating, we're posting on Instagram, we're showing all we have, but events like this kind of give us a platform where we can all be together and kind of talk about what we're doing. So I think we're organically creating culture, and Revolt and AT&T are able to help us curate that.
Throughout the years, Combs also demonstrated his commitment to making a positive impact on society. He founded Daddy's House Social Programs, an organization dedicated to assisting inner-city youth through initiatives such as tutoring, life skill classes, and an annual summer camp. Additionally, he joined forces with Jay-Z to pledge $1 million for the support of Hurricane Katrina victims in 2005, while also donating clothing from his Sean John line to those affected. Diddy's partnership with Ciroc Vodka showcases his business ingeniosity. In 2007, he entered into a 50-50th partnership with Diageo, the parent company of Ciroc, and turned it into a massively successful brand. Within a year, the brand's production skyrocketed from a few thousand bottles to 2 million cases.
I think it's no puzzle that I have and a couple of my other counterparts have affected this industry, whether it was our support of Cristal and them not appreciating us, which you shouldn't really drink Cristal anymore, it doesn't really taste good. Drink Ciroc. Oh! Just trying to tell you, if you're wondering, drink Ciroc, it tastes better. Especially, I'm gonna tell you about I have a drink called the Diddy. It's the best-selling drink in my Justin's restaurants. And it's made by Ciroc Vodka, and mixed with lemonade, pineapple, and cranberry juice. And you mix that up with a little bit of sour mix, and trust me, you'll be all right, but drink responsibly. But, we have affected from the Pastor Cavassier record with the sales on that going up over 30% during a time when that category was going down, to what we were able to do with Cristal, to even now with the impact we've been able to have on tequila. This is an organic progression. It just took me time to find something that I believed in, but I wouldn't say that I'm going to market it to African Americans. I'm not going to market it to rappers or hip hop listeners. I'm going to, anybody that wants something better, anybody that's out there in the lifestyle, drinking responsibly, and they're looking for something better, this is going to be their drink of choice. I think that would be too easy for me to do. I'm really coming to do things better every time I do things and revolutionize the game.
This venture not only transformed the image of luxury within the hip-hop community, but also positioned Diddy as a key figure in the realm of rappers turned spirit entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think that one of the things when we hear this concept of artist celebration, the artist celebration is in the details. If you come to any of my function, it's about the details. It's about the right lighting, the right music, the right ambiance, the right people. And I think that the industry has tackled drunk driving and not driving drunk. I think it's a bigger platform that we're going to talk about, which is drinking responsibly. You have to know when you've had your limit, when you know it's too far, when it's not healthy for your body. And I think that by this also, by me having this platform, I will be able to create a unique creative PSAs and also gather a great group of people around, making this something that is a public mission to make sure that when people are out and they're of age, that they drink responsibly, that they're not in clubs trying to drink their sorrows away or going too far. And they're not, it's just about going too far. I take pride in being an ambassador of cool. And when you see somebody and they've had one too many, that's one of the most unsexy looks you could have, and it does not fit in the art of celebration. We will not have that at Ciroc. This is a very exciting time. I'm from Harlem and Mount Vernon, New York. And, to grow up in those neighborhoods, we always saw Times Square as something that was so overwhelming. And to now be able to take over Times Square, as a New York boy, I'm just proud and happy to be here. This is truly a humbling experience. The whole campaign is about step into the circle. It's about the inner circle. So when I talk about this circle, I talk about my inner circle of friends. We about to do it. I love my friends and I love y'all. Let's go.
In 2009, Combs formed and produced the musical group Diddy, Dirty Money, which released their debut album, Last Train to Paris, in 2010.
Yes. What can UK fans expect to see?
I mean, an experience. We're gonna perform a couple of new songs. You know what I mean? We're gonna do some old songs, some old bad boy songs. We're gonna help Diddy with, of course, a little medley or something. I mean, we're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna show
I
out.
hope people ready to sweat because we might go over our time. We might just have a good time out there tonight.
Yeah. And Dawn, you're a solo artist in your own right. How important is it for you to be part of the group?
I mean, well, I was a part of a group before, you know, so it was, but this is a whole different level of awesomeness right here. But you know what, it feels good. I like Puff says, it feels good to work with a team. I'm better with a team, and these people make me better, and I just feel like my lighting looks better when I have two people next to me. Things just look a little bit better when I have people that have support with me, so it feels good. And to be here and have y'all see how great we really are and what we could be. We sharing it with y'all first, so y'all get the raw and uncut new Dirty Money. I mean, how great is that?
While many of his friends ventured into the clothing industry, Diddy distinguished himself by infusing his brand with elements of luxury and grandeur. This approach mirrored his strategy in subsequent ventures wherein he provided his clientele with aspirational products and fulfilled their desires with what he refers to as a supreme product.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Macy's.
This has been a partnership of over 13 years that is constantly and still evolving in a positive direction. Today, us opening up our own shops, it will give us our own unique identity and give you a piece of the lifestyle that we're trying to also give you through the clothes and apparel. This is the first of many shops that we hope to open in the 400 doors that we're in with Macy's. And I just look forward to the future.
Yes, you get the big one. Go. There you go. Thank you so much. All right, come on in, everybody. Come on in, everybody. Come look around.
As a result, Diddy received the prestigious Menswear Designer of the Year award from the Council of Fashion Designers of America in 2004, making him the first black designer to be honored in that category since 1981. This disruption in the industry's landscape continues to influence the present day, as Fashion Week shows prominently feature creators of color who seamlessly blend streetwear and high fashion.
You're a man known for his fashion sense. You obviously have your own fashion range, which has done really well. People may not know that you've won awards year in, year out for your clothing line, haven't you, as well?
It's a great cut. I mean, definitely the British are known for some of the best cuts in the world on suits, so and you look good, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
The brand's unapologetic defiance of conventions has become the new standard, and Sean John can be credited with blurring the boundaries between different styles. Sean Combs continues to embody the same determination and entrepreneurial spirit in his philanthropy endeavors and political activism. Recently, he took a leading role in responding to the water crisis in Flint, Michigan, by pledging 1 million bottles of his Aqua Hydrate water and providing long-term assistance to the area.
When I tasted this water, I fell in love with this water. It was that simple. I really do not like the taste of a majority of the waters that are on the market. I'm just a regular consumer looking for something always that makes me feel good and taste good. But the real story behind my involvement is that I grew up in Harlem, New York, and the favorite beverage of Harlem was Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, all flavors, made with a ½ pounder bag of sugar. And throughout the years, that was my beverage of choice. I would never drink water. That's why I have so much flavor. And so much. No, I was a Kool-Aid kid. I never drank water. As I started getting older and as I started having kids, the importance of having balance in my life became more important to me. Water, the different waters tasted like chemicals. They didn't have what this water has. The alkalinity, the pH level, the balance that I need. So I fell in love with this water. And that's the most important thing for me as far as getting into a business, is falling in love with something that will naturally be in my lifestyle. I knew that this was the water for me to be in business with because my kids loved it. I have 6 kids, and once I saw them starting to drink water because they have my DNA and they were also Kool-Aid kids, it was something that it was proven to me that we could have success in it. Mark is probably the only person I can say that works harder than me, that knows how to market as good as me, and this is a water that we're going to take all the way to the top.
In August 2016, Combs launched the Capital Preparatory Harlem School, a charter school he founded in Harlem, New York, further exemplifying his commitment to education. Undoubtedly, Diddy is an influential mogul who has left an undeniable mark on the music industry, particularly in hip-hop. But it was not to last. In the same year, a video was released. The video appears to show Combs assaulting his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, in a Los Angeles hotel hallway.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Now, Combs shared that video on social media this morning. He's reacting to this 2016 video that came to light on Friday, showing him punching and kicking his longtime girlfriend and protege, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway of this hotel.
Since this incident, many allegations have risen, claiming Combs had been involved in the sex trafficking industry, alongside sexual assault. Music producer Rodney Jones filed a similar suit to Cassie's, alleging Combs abused him over a year-long period while he lived on Combs' property as a collaborator. The suit did not come to fruition, but it did act as a spotlight on Combs' potential misdoings. Further claims came from plaintiff April Lampros regarding Combs' alleged sexual assault between 1995 and 2001. Similar claims were also provided by former model Crystal McKinney, who claimed the rapper drugged and sexually assaulted her in 2003. Combs' response to the onslaught of further allegations have remained as such. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. After the allegations, Combs stepped down as chairman of Revolt, alongside receiving a colossal amount of negative media attention. Combs' honorary degree from Howard University was subsequently revoked. Furthermore, the mogul was axed from Miami. The statement from Commissioner David Suarez goes as followed. As long as I am a city commissioner of Miami Beach, women beaters, sexual predators, and pedophiles will have no place in our city. As of summer 2024, Combs has not been formally charged or accused by federal prosecutors of any crime. Many of Combs' friends have distanced themselves from him, whilst others remain loyal, eager to support the artist against the allegations. Sean Combs is a complicated individual. On one hand, he demonstrated a visionary approach, showcasing his ability to recognize talent and seize opportunities. From founding his label to pioneering successful ventures like Ciroc and Sean John, Diddy's entrepreneurial spirit has made him a trailblazer. On the other hand, the scandals and allegations have undoubtedly impacted the rapper's image. With his admittance to assaulting his ex-girlfriend to receiving a jaw-dropping degree of allegations, it's no surprise that P-Diddy has become one of the most talked about names in the music industry, for better or for worse.